Okay, let's start. See, in this today's session, we are going to see that one, the configuration and features of the database, Azure SQL database. In yesterday's session, we have seen it, how to create that Azure SQL database, and the theoretical part we have discussed what are the features are available in that Azure SQL database, right? So now we are going to see that one, the configuration details. So here, based on the configuration, is only the charge is actually going to be applied. The billing actually going to be calculated based on that your configurations, whatever the configuration you are going to select. So based on that, on the billing will be there. Here we are having two types of configurations. So one is the DTU based, so data transfer unit, vCore virtual core machines. So the machine configurations, the simple understanding, the high level I'm telling you. So here this DTU, you can consider like this in your the normal laptop actually, which you are using that time, HD format, and another one actually, so the SD format. Like that, here we are having two types of configuration, DTU and vCore. So based on that your configuration, they're going to charge their amount. So we are having two types of this configuration DTU. Under the DTU, we are having three categorization like a basics, standard, premium types. And vCore actually we are having general purpose, hyperscale, business critical. So this part, so for some people, uh, totally maybe new. Some people have some idea. But you don't worry about this part area. Again, I'm telling you, this is not going to be that your responsibility. But if you're having that knowledge on this one, it will be so added for you. But this part, creating this configuration, everything, it is not going to be your responsibility. Actually, everything it will be decided by that your architect team. So the architect team actually are and DevOps team. So they will take care of that all their new resource creations. Admin people will take care of all these things parts. Here, that our database creation, already we have seen it, how to create the database, right? It's one of the resource in the Azure platform. So that database creation time, we can choose this configuration. So what is this configuration? How to create it? I'll show you in the hands-on part directly. Okay. So nothing to discuss more in that our slide here. It will be better if you are seeing in that our portal itself. So I'm going to create that Sandbox server. Already I told you, right? We can use the Sandbox server. The SQL, we can use it in the Sandbox server. Here, submit. Sandbox server, once you have created means. So you can log in into that your portal using that one of the register ID. Enter this one. Actually, that our server not yet ready. Not yet ready. The Sandbox server is not yet ready. That's the reason here it is showing. So the actually this type of icons, it will be show you to create that your account. Okay. But if this Sandbox is activated means this feature will be hidden. Okay. Yes. It's gone. Now we are in this our Sandbox server. Yes, this is your landing page. Whenever you are logging into this your Azure portal, either it is a subscription or Sandbox, whatever it is. If you are going to log in into that Azure portal means this is going to be that your landing page. From here only you are going to create that your all the resource group. If you are going to create first time means. If you are going to work with the existing one means yes, you are going to come here. The recently used resources, it will be listed here. From here directly you can navigate to that your resource, whatever you are going to work, whether you are going to work with that Azure Data Factory or Azure Databricks or Synapse environment, whatever it is. From here you can navigate. But we are in the learning question. So we are going to see that on how to create that resources.
Shiva,
There is so
quick question. In the sandbox, if I create a resource, will it be saved or do I have
the
to?
sandbox server, it will be available only for the 4 hours. Whatever you are
Okay,
going to
after
create,
that,
use.
okay, after that, my resource group will be deleted and I have to recreate everything from
Even your
start, right?
server, it will be so destroyed. You have to create the new server and you have to create that new resource group. Everything.
Okay.
Sandbox server, it will be available only for the 4 hours. This is only for the learning purpose. So that is the reason they are having this type of limitation. One day,
Okay.
actually, you can create 10 servers,
Okay.
but that much server you will not use it. 1 or 2 you can create and then you can use it. And also, we are having some limitations. Everything we cannot use it in this sandbox server. For example, if you want to use it as a data factory, which is we are going to learn later, the data factory we cannot create in this our sandbox server. Only the SQL bot we can use it. In our perspective, we can use this one. Okay. Fine.
Yes.
So now just I'm going to create that SQL database. The SQL database already I have used it. That is the reason it is showing here. So recently used resources, it will be listed here. Suppose the resource, what you are going to create, that resource is not available means you can search it from here. You can search it from here, the SQL database. You can create it. So I'm going to create that MySQL database, create SQL database. So now I'm going to take that one, apply offer, or you can leave it. Up to this 32 GB, you can use it every month, 3 years the cost. I'm not going to choose this option directly. I'm going to create it. If you're going to create that any resource means you have to create that resource under that one of a subscription and one of the resource. Yes, again, a subscription, our own subscription. So when we are creating that our account, the Azure account, using the credit card, that time only that our own subscription will be available. See here, so here, the Sandbox server, we are going to use it for the learning purpose. The Sandbox server subscription by default, the concierge subscription is selected. As well as the resource group also, you can use the resource. So the default one, the resource group, the learning purpose by default is available. Right. But in the actual, we can create that resource group. Yes, that one we will see it when we are getting into the data factory concepts. Fine, these two selected. Now you can create that your database. The database you can create with your custom name, the name, project related name, you can choose it. So here, just a minute. So I'm going to create that my database in the simple name DemoDB. If you are going to create the database means what you have to do actually, you have to use that database under that one of the server because every database you have to create under that one of the server. As of now, I don't have that any server. I don't have that any server. So I want to create that server. So nothing is available as of now. I'm going to click the create new. So you can create the server name. Yes, server name also you have to give it based on that your project. Here I'm using some sample name, that's SQL Server Siva. The project related name you can provide. SQL Server Siva.database.windows.net going to be that your server name. Okay. So here, the location you have to choose. When you are creating that new resource, you have to choose the location. The location you have to choose based on that your customers who are going to access that your data frequently. Based on that one, you have to choose the location. Suppose if you are going to work for that your US client means US based region, usually you would prefer. UK client, if you are going to work means the UK client. So based on their location, we will choose that our region, the database set the region. So everything it will be instructed. Which location you have to choose, what naming convention you have to follow. Everything it will be instructed. So just you are going to follow that one. If it is new project means. Existing project, no, don't worry. So already it will be created, so you can use that directly. Now we are going to use it for the learning purpose. So I'm going to create this in this name SQL Server Siva and default location East US I'm going to select. And authentication method, mostly for the SQL Server, you can go with that SQL authentication method. SQL authentication method, you use it and username for that our database server and password. Password. Confirm password, click OK. And local backup, actually, I'm going to take it local redundant backup storage. I don't want to keep it in any other location. So local is enough for me. So that I'm selecting this one. Before that one. Want to use the SQL Elastic Pool? As of now, we don't have idea about that one. We did not learn it. So we don't want to choose that one. And workload environment, this one we are going to use it for the learning purpose only, so we can go with the development. So for the development and the testing purpose, suppose if you are going to create the separate database means, so for both you have to choose this development option. When you are going to production, that time you can choose the production option. Production, so it will be have some extra features like warehousing purpose also, we can use it, suppose if we need it means. But in the warehousing purpose, we are going to use the Synapse, not for the SQL database. So it depends upon that your environment. You have to choose this workload environment here. That environment as of now, development, you can leave it. And compute and storage. Here only you are going to choose the configurations. Choose a SQL service type and performance level that best fits your application needs. Based on that, your application, suppose if you are going to use that one for very low amount of data processing only means, that time you don't want to go with that high configuration, right? The low configuration is enough. So based on the usages, based on that business application, you can choose this configuration. So compute plus storage. Compute plus storage. Here compute is representing your computer. Storage is representing that your total storage. If you are going to purchase that one laptop means the hard disk, you are going to choose that one. So 1 TB. 1 TB hard disk, 1 TB storage. You are going to. So 500 GB. So here, the storages and compute, everything we are going to create in that our virtual environment, right? I'm going to create that my database. If I'm going to create that my database means what I'm doing, actually I'm creating that one of the virtual machine in my data center. The data center, it is located in my East US. Actually, now what I'm doing means in the East US data center, I'm creating that one computer for my work. That computer configuration, what you need. That computer storage capacity, what you need. You can decide it. The default one is standard series, general purpose serviceless. This is one of the service type. Usually During that our development in the real time and testing environment, by default, we will use this configuration only because this is a budget friendly. But you can decide it based on that your requirements. So if you want to choose that one, the customized one, if you want to choose that one, see here, go click this configure database. In this environment, you can choose this one, the service tier option. The service tier option, general purpose, most budget friendly by default is selected because this compute cost or VCore second, actually how it is going to be calculated based on that usages, it is going to be calculated based on the usages. How you are going to use, how much amount of data you are going to storage, when you are going to running that your machine. Based on all these usages, the cost will be calculated. That's the reason while developing most of the project, we will use this type of general purpose only. But some other also. Actually, two categorization, VCore and DTU based. The DTU based, we are having basic. We are having basic. So less demanding workloads. Actually, I don't have that much work in the database. Somewhat I will use it, some analysis purpose, some few less amount of data I will store it. Very rarely I'm going to use this database means at that time. So just for doing some type of small amount of POC, using small amount of data actually. POC, I'm going to do it using small amount of data. So don't have that much performance record things. So you have to go with that very basic configuration. So the basic configuration, so it's going to have this DTU, data transfer unit. The data transfer units per unit, actually here, 5 unit actually, here we are having, just for your understanding purpose, I'm telling you the exact size, need to check it at our Microsoft site only. Just for understanding, I'm telling you 5 DTU here, it is selected automatically. It's a default to 1. So for example, if 1 DTU processing 10 KB size data per second, imagine it. Not the exact size I'm telling, just for the understanding I'm telling you. Imagine 10 KB size per second, 1 DTU processing means 5 DTU, it will process 50 KB size data per second. This is a concept. In this way, the machine is going to be process your data. So 5 DTU. So 5 DTU, 5. So here, the cost per DTU, the 0.98 US dollar. Total one is 5. So this is the amount you have to pay every month, approximate amount. This is the one you have to pay every month. Maximum storage in this machine, it's going to be 2 GB data. 2 GB, you can store it. You can select this configuration, right? Or else, standard, budget friendly in the DTU. The DTU, you can select it. Minimum 10. Minimum 10. The 10 minimum available. So 100, if you are selecting means the 100 DTU. The maximum data storage size. Maximum data storage size, see here, 1024, 1 TB size. If you are choosing this much amount of storage and this 100 DTU, the machine configuration, the processing, so then cost, this is amount you have to pay every month, approximately, the estimated cost. You have to pay for this one. So this premium, the premium actually here, so the DTU default one is 125 DTU. Maximum 4,000 DTU you can select it, but the cost you have to pay this much amount, $15,700 you have to pay every month. So this is the one actually we can use it if you are going to process that huge amount of data and you need that more performance, then you can choose this type of configuration. This DTU, you have to decide it, what you want to use. Based on that your business data processing record, you can decide it, whether you want to go with this 100 DTU or 500 DTU. You have to decide it. Okay. So here, these all are coming under the DTU. So the vCore mission, the general purpose. See here, whatever you are going to select it. So based on that selection, so you are going to charge that amount. You're going to charge that amount every month. The estimated cost. So you are going to pay this one. Okay. vCore mission. So virtual core mission. So the virtual core mission performance, it will be more. The normal, actually, you can see that on the normal laptop and the i5, i7 laptop, the processing differences you can find out, right? The same way here, if you are using that vCore machine means, then basically the performance, it will be so good than our DTU. Okay. Here we are having three types: so general purpose and hyperscale and business critical. General purpose, mostly we will use it when we are working in the development and testing purpose. So here, compute tier, the calculating two ways. One is provision and another one is serverless. But we will go with the serverless only. Serverless, if you are using means, based on that your usages, how much amount of data you are storing, how much amount of data you are processing. You are running that one query. You're running that one query. The query actually is taking 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 50 seconds. Based on that usages, the timing, the processing timing, it will be calculated. If it is nothing executing means, then it will not be calculated anything. So the serverless, if you are using means based on that usages, based on the storages, the charges it will be calculated. But provision, if you are using means compute resources are pre-allocated, built per hour based on the vCore config. Whether you are running that query or not, whether your machine is using or not, the machine is executing or not, they will charge the amount hourly basis. They will charge the amount hourly basis. Okay. So that's the reason actually most of the time you'll go the serverless only. This is the budget friend. And also you can decide it vCore, how many virtual cores. So 50 Cs. So maximum 80 vCores you can take it means 80 parallel processing you can do it. That's the concept. One core we can process one set of tasks. Internally, your task going to be split based on the volume of the data. Internally, your task going to be split. Your data processing task going to be split. That splitting maximum we can do it up to 80 vCore. That 80 vCore, when it will be used, that much amount of data, if you are processing at that time only, it is going to be used of 80 vCores. But maximum it will be used. Scale out, scale in operations automatically will be happened here. If you are choosing this maximum 80 means, so the maximum 80 core, we can split it. That means your machine automatically can split that task. But how it will be split means based on the volume of the data only it is going to be split. Up to maximum 80 if you are selecting this one means. So the maximum vCore it is going to be 80 and the minimum going to be 10 vCores. So the cost going to be calculated based on that usages. Maximum cost, so going to be so calculated based on that usages. Okay, so here and auto pause delay actually, so these all are for this our ideal time performance. If you are not using anything means, so automatically it will pass that to your server. The same way hyperscale, the hyperscale, so extra features means the storage perspective, same one. The storage perspective, same only. Okay, so the memory and the vCore configuration, everything same only. So availability, the replica feature is available. So backup copying, you can have it. The replica feature, you can have it here. And this is the one for the high availability. So production environment. Production environment. See, at the same time, if you are using any on-premises license, if you are using means that on-premises license, if you want to use it here means, so you can use it. That our hybrid, Azure hybrid benefit feature is available. At the same time, maximum vCore 128, storage account 620 page. Okay, so this is the way you have to choose this your service type. You have to choose that your service tier. So this service tier, we are going to choose based on that our project, based on that our volume of the data. All the scenarios we are going to consider, and we are going to decide what type of service tier we are going to use it and what much amount of storage we have to use it. This is the one actually. We have to choose it while we are creating that new database. The new database. Here, for my requirement, I don't want to use that any custom one as of now. So the default one, if you need, you can use it. Or else anything that's standard, simply I'm going to take this one standard one. The 100, I'm going to take it. So this is budget friendly. This is a medium one. So I can take this one. I can take this one. So monthly average cost is going to be 147 US dollar. You can choose this one, right? So then networking options, the basics, all these things you have to select. Then, so you have to go to the networking. The networking by default is no access. By default, no access. See here, actually, nothing to select. You can leave it as it is. Suppose if you want to take that any sample data for that, so validation, some testing, if you are going to do that means, then what you can do it, you can take the sample data from here. You can take that sample data from here. Okay. But I don't want to do it anything. Simply, I'm going to take it nothing. I'm going to take it nothing. Now, everything I'm going to leave it as it is. Directly, I'm going to click the review plus create. Click the create. The networking setting, we can do it after creating. After creating, we can do it. So the initializing deployment. So the initializing deployment means actually in the behind what happening our data center. We have selected that our data center, ESTS data center, right? In the ESTS data center, it is creating that one virtual machine for us. In that machine, the configuration, whatever we have selected, based on the configuration, one machine will be created in that our data center. And in that one, our database will be created automatically. Everything it will take care by the Microsoft Azure. We don't want to do it anything. Here, we have to select that our properties properly. That background process, everything it will take care by the Azure. You don't worry about that. We have to choose the right option, what we need for our project. Once you choose the right things, then you can create it automatically. It will be created. That's the reason nowadays companies are using the cloud technologies. You don't worry about that software installation. You don't worry about that server configuration. You don't worry about that your development applications, whatever the technologies you are going to use it, any technology. That's not a problem. Everything is available in the cloud environment. That upgrade, version upgrade. So the updates, everything taking care of your service provider. Because of this reasons only nowadays all the companies, free maximum of companies, they are migrating into the cloud now. This is the reason. Easy to use, easy to access anywhere from anywhere. Okay. So our database deployment still it is in progress. Once this deployment is completed, what we can do it, we can create the table. So the table creation we have discussed in the table study session, the same. Yes. But that query editor window, what we have used in the study session, that query editor window usually we will not use it in the real time. Suppose if you are going to work the Azure SQL database frequently means the query editor window is not a right tool because the tool is not a user-friendly tool. The tool had having some limitations. So the database access actually we can do it using that our SQL Server Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio. The SQL Server Management Studio The on-premises, the local machine, you can install that your SQL Server Management Studio application. Using the SQL Server Management Studio, you can access the Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database is a cloud application. SQL Server Management is our on-premises application. The SQL Server Management is our IDE for using the query, for writing the query. It's an environment. But how we can access? It will support. It will support. See here, I will show you how to access that our SQL Server, Azure SQL Server, using the SQL Server Management Studio. Before that one, so we have to do some of the firewall setting configurations because we did not do it while we are creating that our database. In the networking section, nothing we do, right? So we have to do it manually now. Actually, this is the one I have used it in the yesterday one, right? For creating that basic table, I have used this one, the query editor window. Now, actually, before doing this firewall setting, I'm trying to log in into that our database from this our query editor window, the username, server username, and password. So click this OK. I'll try to log in, but I'm not able to log in. An instance specific error occurred while establishing a connection to the SQL server. The connection was denied since deny public network access is set to yes. The connection is denied. We did not do it actually, that one, the network settings. So where we can do it, after creating the database, you can do that networking setting in this set server firewall. This menu actually you can do it. The public network access by default is disabled. You have to choose a selected network option. And the firewall rules, you have to add the IP address from which system you are going to access. That local machine IP address, you have to add it, then only you can connect to that your SQL database. But my local machine IP, I don't have that one. The add your client IP address. This is the one not able to get it properly. So I'm going to get it from this website. What is my IP? It's a dynamic IP. That IP, this is the one I'm going to take it. So while you're working, so this one you have to do it. Yes. Then only you can learn. And this allow Azure services and resource to access the server. This one also I will add it. As of now, we don't need this feature, but I will add it. This feature, we need it later. I will tell you when we have to use this feature. Later, when you are working with the Azure SQL, Azure Data Factory or Azure Databricks, at that time, if you are going to access that your SQL server means this option should be enabled. Otherwise, other resources not able to access this server, this SQL server. So if you want to access from other services, other resources means this option should be enabled. Then only this server will be accessible for other Azure resources like our Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse. From wherever you're going to access the other resources, that resource will be accessible. From that resource will be accessible if this option is enabled. Yes. Now, yes, it's saved. Now I'm trying to log in. Click OK. Yes. Yeah. See here, I'm having some limitations. I'm having some limitations. This tool is not user-friendly. If you are going to do anything admin-related task means from here, you cannot do it much. Again, simple thing, the simple query, if you want to see that table is available or not, and you want to see the record, so you select the statement, select query, you can write it, create the table, few things you can do it. See this cell, if you are writing that because to queries, if you are writing any because to query means, so the scroll down only, so will be enabled. The window, we cannot maximize it. So if you are going to write it any because to query means, Every time you have to scroll down it and you have to write it. So if you want to analyze the query means every time you have to do the scroll down, scroll up. So those type of things you have to do it. So this tool, just the preview tool only, the simple purpose you can use it. Frequently, if you are going to work with the database means the database, you can log in using the SQL Server Management Studio. So sometimes during the interview time, they may ask the question, which tool you're using to connect with that our Azure SQL database. So simply you can say that one, I'm using SQL Server Management Studio. One more tool is there. One more tool also there. I will show you that one what is. Now first I will show you how we can log in using that our Azure SQL database. Azure SQL Server, SQL Server Management Studio. How you can connect with that SQL Server Management Studio. You have to mention that your server name. What is it? Our server name. Our database is created. Our server name in the overview. You can see this one. What is it? A server name. Actually, this is our server. You have to get into the database. In the database overview tab, you can see that one. What is your server name? My server name is SQL Server siva.database.windows.net. This is the one you have to take it as a server name when you're trying to connect from the SQL Server Management Studio. Then authentication. When we are creating the server, we have selected the authentication type is SQL Server Authentication. Then SQL Server Authentication, if you are choosing means you have to provide the username and you have to provide the password. The password, what you have given while you are creating the same password, you have to enter here. You are the admin user. You are the admin user. Yes. I think it's working fine. I'm able to log in. Yes, it's logged in. But as of now, I don't have that any table. This is my demo DB is that my database. Under the tables, I don't have anything. See, here we are having that lot of folders. At the same time, if you are seeing here, nothing is showing except these three folders. Right? So the security. So here, if you want to create that extra user, everything from here you can create it. So this one is going to be the user-friendly tool. So from here, if you are going to work with, so that query, whatever you are going to write it, what big size query you are going to write it, that's not a problem. So that window you can create it here, that query editor window, you can create it here. From here, you can write it. Look and feel also will be good and easy to handle. And if you are already having the experience as a SQL Server developer means, then it will be more user-friendly. Simply, you are going to connect to the Azure and rest of all the things same. Whatever you are going to work in that on-premise, the same thing only here you are going to work. That's fine. Yes, I have connected. This is my database. If you want to create the table, you can create it. Create table. Create table. Table name. Create table. Table name. So that columns, whatever you are going to have it, the column name, you can mention it. Customer name. So customer ID, customer name, customer location. So like this, I'm going to create that my table with the three columns. You can run this one, execute. You can confirm it. The same table is available or not here. It should be available because we are working in this server only, this database only. We are working with this database only. This database we are accessing using that our on-premises SQL Server Management Studio tool. This is ID only. The user interface tool on-premises we have installed it. Using this one, we are able to connect. So this is supporting because this is Microsoft product, Azure also Microsoft product. Both are Microsoft product. So you can access it. So you can create the table, you can insert the record, whatever it is, the queries, everything, you can write it here. So insert into our customer table, values of location. So values of this. Second record. Yes, two record, I'm going to insert it, run it. So our table name is cust. Our table name is cust. Yes. If you want to select star from run it. The same query here, I'm going to write it. Select star from run it. Yes. Okay, so that Azure SQL database you can access from that SQL Server Management Studio. This is one of the tool. So this tool you can download it. SQL Server. If you are going to use that first time use, you can download it. So download SQL Server Management Studio. You can download this. You can download this one. Any recent version, you can download it. It's a free one. From the Microsoft Learning page, you can download it and then you can install it. The installation is the easiest one. Simply you're going to install, just click the next one. So this is one of the two. Another one tool is that Azure Data Studio. Azure Data Studio. Azure Data Studio is one of the on-premises tool. This tool also you can download it and install in the local machine. So here we are having some extra features. Even if you want to access that your notebook, that Azure Databricks notebook, the notebook also you can access from here. So this is the one especially developed for that Azure platform. So this one from here, I'm going to connect my database. This is my database server. This is my database server. The server. Authentication, I'm going to take it that SQL login and username, the username and password. Password. Rest all you can leave it as it is. The database, you can leave it everything blank. So then it will be accessible for all the database. Whatever the database you are having inside of the server, all the database, you can access it. As of now, we are having only one database, the DemoDB only we are having. So the server, the connection, it is in progress. Yes. Under the database folder, you can see that on all the database. Actually, I'm having only one database, the DemoDB database only available. Under the table, you can see that on all the tables. As of now, we are having only one table, the customer table is. The query I want to write it. You can click this new query. In the new query option, if you click, means the new query tab will be created. Here, the database, you can select, this is our database, and you can write the query. Select soft from customers. Run it. It will show that one. So this is one of the tool, another tool. This is called Azure Data Studio. The Azure Data Studio also you can download from the Google. Azure Data Studio. You can download it. Download and install Azure Data Studios. From the Microsoft Learning page, actually you can download it. So the Windows, the zip file, this one actually, you can download it. You can extract that one and then you can install it. Okay. So either this SQL Server Management Studio or this our Azure Data Studio tool, you can use it to connect with that Azure SQL database from the on-premises environment.
Siva, quick question. We cannot develop pipelines in this Azure Data Studio, right?
So Data Studio, so we are going to use it only for the access, this type of database related things only. Pipeline, we are going to development in that our platform, that our data factory.
Okay, so basically it's just a SSMS in the different version.
Yes, correct.
Similar to SSMS, okay.
But extra features available. So if you want to, what is that one? The Databricks actually, if you want to access means from here, you can access it. So that notebook option available, yes, the notebook option available. So the notebook will be available in that Azure's Databricks. So from the Databricks, if you want to access that means that notebook, you can open it here. And from here, you can write the any scripts. So then you can save it. Everything will be updated into that your Azure Databricks resource environment.
Okay.
So almost same like that your data management studio only with extra cloud related features. Yes. So this is the way we can create that our Azure SQL database, and we can select that our configuration. So the overview page, actually you can see that on the pricing tier, what is this one? Actually, we have selected the standard DTU only. So the 100 DTU we have selected, so that it is showing this one pricing tier. As of now, we don't have that any elastic pool, so that it is showing no elastic pool, and it is running current active condition. So it's online, and this is our location, our subscription. This is our subscription ID. So that all the information you can check it here under which uh, subscription this account is created, the database account is created. So what is this configuration? Everything you can see it here. Okay. So that one we can access using one of this our tool database, data management studio or Azure Data Studio. Okay, this images are, so whatever I have shown you, all this one here is explained in this images. Right. Actually, this elastic pool concept is one of the best option when we are using that multiple databases and cost saving feature. So what is this elastic pool? How the data or the configuration is going to be distributed. So all those things we will discuss in that our next session. Okay, so for this one, we will create that multiple database and we will use that. So that's all for the day. We will connect again tomorrow. Bye.